Welcome back to this segment of the show. We have an in-studio guest. Today we're going to be talking about the Austrian Linguistic Institute and the way it supports cultural events to represent Austria and to promote international cultural exchange through language and different activities. We're joined by our guest, Dr. Hameed Ezalarab, the founder of the Austrian Linguistic Institution. And good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Let's start off by first explaining how the Linguistic Institute itself plays a role in exchanging cultures and promoting the Austrian culture itself.
As far as I'm concerned, with the Cultural European Centers here in Cairo, they do a large efforts for in the field of language and culture. The problem that we mostly face is the fast, hectic daily rhythm of the youth and the students here, where they do not find enough time to actually attend our cultural events. The other problem we face is the targeting. Actually, if the cultural event is held in the official language of the country, the German, it will be just targeting the students or the people who are interested in the language or already learning or studying it.
Yes. So what's the difference between the Austrian Institute and other foreign cultural centers in terms of handling these events?
Yeah, well, the difference always lies in the approach we're adopting. We are not just adopting to do a lot of cultural events, we are adopting to teach the people first the language to be able to better understand the culture.
Yes.
Without the language, it would be very hard to understand the culture. We work parallelly with the language and culture and the passion of the students or the people to delve into the culture in a better ways. So that's the difference in the approach we're adopting.
So do you think that this approach helps boost bilateral ties between the Austria and the country?
Bilateral ties is a big word.
Yes, it is.
We work in a local level. Also, we're very lucky to work under the auspices of the Austrian Cultural Forum in Cairo, which actually works on the bilateral ties. But our approach is introducing the people better to the language, to be able to understand the culture.
Cultural exchange more.
Yeah, we play a focal role in field of the language, and the language is the glue which would tie both cultures together.
Yes. How do you assess the cultural ties between Egypt and Austria?
It has been working on a very good levels since the establishment of the Austrian Cultural Forum in Cairo. Also, the efforts done on our side for the initiatives to work on the language had that more to approach the students more or the people more to the culture of the country, Austria.
So how do you see a boost in the cultural exchange happening? What can be done to encourage younger Egyptian students to join this?
Well, we are working in a very good level so far.
Yes.
The approach that needed to be done is more initiatives, more support for the language courses, mingling with the culture for the young people, for the students, seminars to better introduce the students and the people to such cultural and language events.
How do you evaluate the students that learn German? Is it a special kind of student, for instance, or is it someone who wants to travel? Or?
Yeah, the ages vary and also the interests vary.
Yes.
The ages, they are mostly between 20 to 30 years old.
Yes.
About 30 will always be in fields of they want to travel, they want better career opportunities in a German-speaking country, not just Austria. They head for Germany, also Switzerland.
Yes.
It depends on the opportunities they are having and their opportunities they are heading for.
We were just talking off air about the fact that the Institute is celebrating its first cultural exchange program with Egypt. You were saying it wasn't, but could you elaborate more on what it is?
Well, after 1 year that we've been working on the cultural level, along with the language level, we have been celebrating that we have been doing this program for 1 year. Actually, we covered a lot of objectives that we were heading for on the language and on the cultural level. Even with the Covid19 precautions, we have been able to work along.
Yeah, which brings me to the next idea. How is online learning? I know it's terrible for a lot of people, especially in schools. Does it make things a little more difficult for the students and teachers?
Actually, the experience was new. It had not been before introduced to our minds. That will be sitting online, doing cultural events and language courses. The numbers had decreased I beg your pardon, had decreased in this period of time. Yeah, it was hard, but we have been also working on our side with a lot of initiatives to be able to go on with the programs we are offering.
Yes. So you're back to normal now, like with real classes, not just virtual?
Back to normal with some safety precautions, some measures
Yeah.
to ensure the safety of our staff, also our students.
Yes. How do you, could you like elaborate on the experience of combating COVID-19? Is your institute, for instance, different from other institutes in terms of how they tackled it?
It's like everything that had been affected in this period.
Yes.
Mostly we had been closing our doors. With the administration, they had been working with the students, calling them to follow up if they have more interest in our cultural and language programs during the COVID-19 online. Some of them responded to our initiative, some of them had the opinion to postpone everything.
Yes.
So that's concerning what happened to the Linguistic Institute.
Have you prepared, for instance, for what may happen if a second wave does come around?
Well, we don't hope that a second wave that would happen. Actually, if it happened, we'll go back to the precautions that had been working successfully in this level.
Yes.
Normally, we will expect that the numbers will decrease once more.
Yes.
But we will work again to get and attract more attention to the culture and language fields. I'm sure that if there's a second wave, we'll be able to benefit a little bit.
Cultural event.
Yeah, we have been also doing virtual cultural events online.
How does that work?
Well, it has been working with the camera, with the background, you know, some effects.
Yes.
And this, we have been doing this weekly. Actually, in the COVID-19, the number of attendants in such cultural events was increasing because actually they were sitting at home. So that was a perfect opportunity for them to do this.
Yes. Do you think this is a better learning experience to introduce culture through the internet than experience? I mean, obviously it's in Egypt, it's not in Austria, so you can't really experience true Austrian culture. I mean,
what do you mean? I beg your pardon.
I mean, like, since you're doing it virtually, you have options of showing cultural events in Austria, not just in Egypt.
We have been doing this also when it was not online.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. We have been also doing this when it's not online. We have been also being able to do all this on a better level when it's not online. With online, it has been consuming more time because you need to stop all the audience to talk and then do what's in share screen. Yeah, that was a little bit with an obstacle, with the time consuming. The virtual culture workshop extended the 2 hours limit that we had also been always doing.
Yes. Something unrelated to the coronavirus. How does your institute differ in terms of exchange of cultures and learning from the German institute?
Well, I've been previously saying it is in the approach.
It's the same language, essentially.
Yeah, I know. It is in the approach we're adopting.
Yes.
It means we have been all the time testing what the demands of our students are.
Yes.
On a weekly basis, there is a cultural workshop held at our institute in Garden City, Learnwater. And also we have been able to meet the demands of our students. It means in the last 5 months, the students mostly were medical students. They need to travel to get better opportunities there in Germany and in Austria. But once they go there, they fail to pass the medical licensing examination.
Yes.
I'm a doctor, so I've been giving the FSB courses in my institute to be able to teach them the medical language properly and also to pass the medical licensing examination in Germany.
Other than teaching them, for instance, like you were saying, they're teaching them the terminology itself in German. Does the institute provide support for people who are seeking jobs in German-speaking countries? If they already have a job opportunity, for instance, can they help them with settling?
How can we say this? With the language needs, we do this. If they need some consultation where they can get the accommodation they want, we do this as well.
Yes.
Contacting the universities, writing the email properly, we do this as well.
Yes. So this is a broad support that you provide.
Yeah, we work on this. We want to extend more concerning this, but we'll work more.
Okay. Well, we're running out of time, so our guest, Dr. Hameed Ezalarab, the founder of the Austrian Linguistic Institute, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon and telling us the difference between, German Germany and Austria Germany. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. This will bring us to the end of this episode of Cairo Local Time, but stay tuned for more on Nile TV.